After the Lakers' win in Brooklyn last night, LeBron James was asked if the Lakers are, quote, one piece away from cementing their status as a title contender. LeBron responded, quote, "We have enough right now." Scottie, do you agree with that?
Well, if it comes from the king, I have to agree.
Yeah.
We've seen LeBron go into the playoff with a depleted team, and he's been able to come out on top. So I think this season he's really been doing a great job of instilling confidence throughout his teammates. That's why he's leading the league in assists, because he's willing to distribute and build confidence in these players. We know it's him and Anthony Davis are the names, but it's been the other guys that's been contributing to make this Laker team as good as they've been this season. It's been about Dwight Howard. It's been about JaVale McGee. Those guys have controlled the paint. They've established themselves as a good defensive team. And when you hear that coming from LeBron James, he knows what it takes to win a championship. I believe what he says.
Absolutely, and I just think those guys are understanding how to star in their role. And the more that they continue to grow in their role, and what he said, LeBron keeps instilling that confidence in them, by the time the playoffs roll around, that's not going to be a team you want to face. And for Dwight Howard, I'm really happy for him to see a young man evolve like that and finally be able to come to terms with, hey, I'm going to be a shot blocker, a rim roller, a runner, a great teammate. And now the benefits you can see are starting to come back to him. I
think we all agree on Dwight. I'm going to be the dissenting opinion on the Lakers needing more potentially. And this is the reason why. When LeBron is off the floor, which isn't all that much, it drops off like a cliff. And I just think that they need another guy who can initiate offense. Rondo, for as great as he's been in his career, isn't that guy anymore. I don't believe, not on a consistent basis. And Kuzma has struggled kind of with his role a little inconsistent. Some nights it's 25 or 30, other nights it's 4. So paging Darren Collison, who could be available, I know there's been rumors about that. Yeah. Someone who can stabilize that second unit would be great.
But I will battle you. When the playoffs when they hit, Rajon Rondo will be ready to roll. If you didn't see him a couple years ago with New Orleans and what he pulled off against Portland.
I saw it.
I'm just telling you, that guy, that's what veterans do.
Right.
The regular season, okay, you can say what you want, but when those playoffs hit and that popcorn's popping, Rajon Rondo's going to be ready to roll.
And I have to agree with you. They have the veteran players that are capable and willing to take them to the next level. And Rajon is definitely the guy that I believe that can carry this team. I saw what he did with a Bulls team before he broke his hand in the playoffs.
They had Boston.
Yes.
They had him.
This guy brings a lot to the table, as well as LeBron James, and it's hard for these players, being veteran players and played the amount of games that they played, to bring it night in and night out.
Right.
But they're setting up something very special here.
Yeah, I just think that the key words to everything you guys are talking about is a couple of years ago. And I think that, look, Father Time is undefeated, and everyone hits it at a little bit of a different time.
We're going to put a lunch on this one.
But we will. Let's do that. We'll put a lunch on that one. All right, let's move on. The All-Star starters were announced last night, and Hawks second-year guard Trae Young was among those selected. You can see he had an emotional reaction to finding out the news last night. It's good stuff there to see that. But, Coach, you agree with Young being named a starter?
I'm happy for him, but I don't agree with him. I still think that position voting it throws it off, because Jimmy Butler should be a starter, hands down, at the 2 in the All-Star game. And it's no knock on Trae. That's really good for the kid, and the kid is an offensive monster. But Jimmy Butler should be starting in that All-Star game.
Congratulations to Trae Young.
Yes.
Well-deserving to some degree to the way that he's been playing. But to take Jimmy Butler out and put him ahead with what the Miami Heat have been able to do with a record of 31-13, that's an insult to Jimmy Butler. And that's why that fans should not be allowed to vote, because it's about the players that are out there playing against one another. They know who the dogs are. They know who the best players in the game are, night in and night out. And I'm not taking anything away from Trae Young. What I am looking at is how your team has performed thus far.
I am going to agree with one of the greats, a man who coached some of the greats. I'm with you on Jimmy Butler. He absolutely should have been in. But here's the thing. The way this thing gets split up is interesting. So 50% is the fan vote, 25% is the media vote, and 25% is the player vote. And I also think, as you pointed out, Fizz, the positionless part of this. We play in a game where there are no positions. We shouldn't even be talking about front court and back court anymore. Just give me the top 5 guys. And I believe, and maybe the guys in the studio in the control room can correct me if I'm wrong here, but I'm pretty sure Jimmy actually got more fan votes than Trae did too. The problem with Jimmy was that he was voted in as a forward, or he was characterized, depicted as a forward, and Pascal Siakam had more votes. The media actually voted Jimmy in as a starter in the front court, but the players, this is the interesting part. So the media had him in, fans had him just out 4th, but the players had him 6th on the front court ballot. And I thought Charles Barkley made an interesting point yesterday, Scottie, and I'll ask you about this. He's like, hey, players don't like him because he sometimes can rub people the wrong way. And I feel like maybe that kind of bit him a little bit.
It's part of the game. Yeah. You know, you don't want players to like you. I watched a guy go through his whole career, speaking of Kevin Garnett.
Yeah.
He didn't give a damn if players.
No, he don't want friends.
Yeah. And he brought that kind of attitude. But I don't think that kept him off of any All-Star balance. So I like Jimmy Butler keeping his attitude and being that dog in the league. And if players don't like him, hey, kudos to you.
Yeah, and he obviously he's found the perfect home because that's how the Heat are.
Know it.
It's all about we don't want anybody to like us. Yeah. We wanted it was us against the world type of deal, and so he's found the perfect situation for his attitude and the way that he approaches the game. You know, it's unfortunately he didn't get the vote, but his team is playing big-time basketball.
No doubt, and they'll play tonight. We'll have more on the Heat and Clippers tonight coming up in a little bit, and more on Jimmy Butler particularly.
Yeah.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.